When we had last left Harrier Dubois, he and Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi were wrapping up some miscellaneous side tasks for none other than Everard Clare and Joyce Messier, one of which involved leaving a door cracked open for a weasel that Everard wanted to intimidate. However, upon arriving on the scene, the dynamic duo found that they had missed their window of opportunity and had to report their failure back to Everard, who, surprisingly enough, took it pretty well and instead offered up a different task to head over to the waterfront fishing village area and ask for signatures to build a youth center, which seemed a charitable enough cause. However, upon closer inspection, it seemed to be not so charitable after all. Now, they also proceeded down to the lady lorry driver's lorry, Ruby's lorry, and smashed the window open and looked inside and found some interesting stuff that potentially proved correctly some of Clausia's allegations about Ruby. However, it was now time to speak with the lieutenant, who had something to share before they reported their findings back to Joyce. This is Disco Elysium. Welcome back. Alright, let's do a little talking.
Alright, we're finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim? Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed. Or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Half-light, easy success. Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. Right, it seems like it's going to really come into play here in not too long. And last but not least, it's Ruby's cabin we found. This is an undeniable connection to the Union. Clausia might have been right about Ruby. She looks awfully lot like one of the poster girls in the cabin. The Union really is neck deep with everyone around here, isn't it? Will the RCM open an investigation into this? Let's bring up Clausia. She looks a lot like the poster girls. Perhaps you're right. He stops to think. This is one connection I find a little dubious, to be honest. I prefer not to profile people's emotions. Perhaps it's because I'm not very good at it, but still. Empathy, easy success. Actually, he's not bad at it at all. The Union really is neck deep with everyone around here, isn't it? One way or another, they seem to be, logistically, if nothing else. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them. Two other ends, as extra ammunition. Will the RCM open an investigation into this? We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we're done for the day, I'll call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later, when we're done here. We do not want to get caught in that. He stops to think. What are you thinking? The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre group is involved. And I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. Corruption? He nods. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Weird, but how could corruption in the police? In the RCM? Because of the Union? In favor of the Union? I could see it in favor of, like, Wild Pines. Huh. Oh, okay. Maybe the investigation, although Wild Pines would like to put a stop to the drug trade and all of that stuff, right? They would not like an official RCM investigation or any kind of investigation inside of all their shit, right? They'd rather handle it themselves. I could see that being the case. Okay. Debrief over? Debrief over. He nods. After you. Good. Alright. I think we head on back to Everard and see if there's additional dialogue we can have with him with regards to us having spotted that shit in his little signature paper, right? Just on the off chance that we can bring it up, rather than, like, begin our questioning, or not questioning, but begin asking the people living in the fishing village for their signatures and stuff, right? Alright, over here. Because I would like to not have that happen to them. Like, I don't want to force them into it. If by some miracle they want to do it on their own volition, like they know what's involved and they don't mind, sure. But I don't want to, like, try and pull the wool over their eyes, so to speak, right? That seems like ultra fucked up. If anything, maybe that's what, remember, who was it? Was it Call Me Mañana that brought it up? That Everard is, like, corrupt to the fucking bone and he's, like, a total skis-ball, but they kind of need that in him in order to, like, skis-ball in their favor sometimes, right? Like, it's a known... It's a give and take. It's a known risk with having Everard run the show. Maybe that's it. Maybe the idea is that Everard really isn't, like, a fucking leftist or whatever because he's so vocal about it, right? He's all talk, but when push comes to shove, he's a fucking hardcore capitalist, right? Maybe that's the idea. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Over here.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today?
Okay, we can lie about the signatures, or I can tell him I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. Interesting. Should we tell him? I mean, why not, right? What do we have to lose by telling him? I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. Ah, yes, your side investigation. Thank you. He adjusts his glasses. You've got some spirit, clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now, let's talk real business. Empathy's easy success. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that, then. Okay. Interesting. Everard, I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later. Okay. Let's head on down here. Good. And head out this way. Because in thinking about, like, the political alignment of Everard, although, like he is all talk with that, maybe what's truer is that the actual union workers who don't, like, say shit are more accurate representations of that political alignment, right? Although they wouldn't ever go around, like, touting it the way that Everard has just so openly done so, right? They are actually more true representations of those ideals, right? Like the Hardy Boys and everything. Right? That seems maybe like what they're going for. And I think I totally agree with it, right? I think I'm down for that. Okay, let's head on out over here. Good. Because, like, although Titus Hardy and the Hardy Boys, their methods are, like, crude as shit, their heart is definitely in it, right? Like, they're fairly well-intentioned, right? I don't know. Maybe I have a wrong read on the situation, but that's definitely my thinking. Okay. here. Good. Oh yeah, a necessary evil. That's what I was thinking of. What Call Me Mañana said. That's probably how they view Everard, right? He's a necessary evil. They think he's like a scumbag, but he's a scumbag fighting for them, so they'll take any of the bullshit that he throws their way and try and just suss through it. Oh hey, he wants to talk to me. Did you just see that? He said, "Hey officer, got a minute?"
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
The racist told us where her cabin is. We only searched it. No trouble, she's going to be fine. There's going to be an investigation. Sorry, man, I can't disclose the facts of an official investigation to you. The racist told us where her cabin is. We only searched it. I like how he knows just by us saying, yeah, the racist told us. He's like, oh yeah, of course. Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who'd tell on her. He leans in. But is she in trouble? Not for the drugs, but maybe for something else. We're not sure. I'm gonna be honest with him. There's going to be an investigation. Just probably not for what he thinks. Is that bad? He lets out a whistle, looking about 10 years older suddenly. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her? No need for you to do anything. Don't worry, the police are looking into it. The last thing we need is more civilians involved. I really don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Damn. I always warned her to watch herself. Man, nothing to do now, I guess. Maybe I should just keep my head down and work my rhymes while I can. What's the plan with those rhymes anyway? Oh, you know. The thought lightens him up. Tommy Lehome's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft. Why Tommy Lehome? Tommy Lehome was taken. Oh yeah, because that would be like the appropriate way, right? To do that in French. Good God, I'm sorry. He shrugs in a what can you do manner. My real name is Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better. Empathy, easy success. It's more him. Alright, I had another question actually. Do I? No, I don't. I lied. I'm sorry. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. That's all for now. Okay, he took that pretty well, right? Let's see. Let us head on over to... Let's hit up the villagers, right? Before we chat up Joyce. Let's see, who was it again? The washerwoman and Lillian, wasn't it? Yeah, Isobel and Lillian. And Isobel is the washerwoman, right? Okay, head on over here. Here, we should probably unequip this. There we are. Good. Alright. Wonderful. Let's see, over this direction. Double click over here. Good. Let's see, what time is it as well? It is almost... Oh geez, almost 5. And what time do we want to do karaoke? Do we have like an ideal time for that? Let's see, because I do want to do all of that tonight. Okay. So maybe around 7 or 8 p.m. Okay. Let's chat up with Isabel first.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I was asked to get your signature. Hand her the envelope. Item lost, white envelope. Hi? What's this about? She takes out the documents and squints her eyes. Come now, I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says. Everard wants to turn part of the village into a little youth center. It's a real estate deal, nothing ominous. Actually, never mind, I won't bother you with this. Everard wants to turn part of the village into a little youth center. Ha! She lifts the paper very close to her face and studies it intently. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. Item gained. White envelope. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing till I know she's on board. She hands the envelope back. Alright, I'm off. Let's see, let's do a quick save. Like I said, I'm very interested to hear their takes. Lillian? Oop.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around? Like some kind of cross-country law official?
She observes. I still have a case to solve. I have some loose ends to tie up. This place is kind of growing on me, you know? Let's go with that. It's growing on me. Aye, but don't let it grow too much. This is not the place to settle down. Now, what's on your mind, Officer Harry? I was asked to get your signature. Hand her Everart's envelope. Where are you? Her eyes dart back and forth on the paper. It says by signing I agree with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building? Everart's planning to turn some of the village into a youth center. What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought of that. Her voice trails off. Thought what exactly? Here, use my pen. Give her your pen. On second thought, don't sign the papers. Thought what exactly? The Everart and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. She shakes her head. Well, I guess Union members have children too. Will she just sign it? I mean, we quick saved. If this won't lock us in, right? We could still, like, not do it. I'm not going to have him do it, right? Because I think she will actually sign it. Right? Because the whole trick is to, like, get them to not notice... Well, not even the fine print, but the reality of the situation, right? That it would make them move from their homes. On second thought, don't sign the papers. If you say so. She plucks her net. Probably better that way. I mean, who likes construction noise? There we go. Alright. Be seeing you. Okay, cool. Let's see. How should we handle this then? Let's take a look at our task. Find someone to sign the document instead of the intended signees. Forge the signatures, but somewhere private, where you feel safe enough to sleep. Ah. Okay. Let's see here. We do need interfacing, and we'll probably fail it. But I am actually kind of down for... If we fail it, I'm down for that, right? I'm down for making the forging be just, like, god-awful. I'm 100% here for it. Alright. There we are. Good. And then, let's get our interfacing up, wasn't it? Let's see, 2 interfacing. Do we have anything reducing it? No. Let's see, anything else we can increase interfacing with? Those gloves... Doesn't seem like there may be anything else. Let's see, this shit, no. Hand-eye coordination on the shoes. No, I think we may be good on interfacing. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see, should we do some drugs? We could do some drugs that may help us pull it off. We have plenty of speed. I think we do it. Alright. Good shit. Alright. Now. Let us interact with this and try to forge it. 58% chance. We buffed it up. Not half bad. Alright. Okay, let's do this. Commence the forgery. Wow, I succeeded. Holy shit. Interfacing, challenging success. With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. What do you see on the signature line? 2 names, Isobel Sadie and Lillian Carter. Indeed, they look distinctly different and very convincing. These might as well be their actual signatures. But they're not, and the document will be nullified if they dispute it. That means Everard will have to start over. Item gained, white envelope. All you need to do now is mail the signatures to Everard's accountant in La Delta. Oh, that's genius. So, this gives them a great out, doesn't it? If they want to dispute it, if they decide down the line that, yeah, we fucking hate the construction noise, we're going to dispute this shit or whatever, right? Then it all comes crumbling down for him. So it puts the ball in their court, right? Great. I like that. All right, put the documents back in the envelope. Good. Okay. Mailbox in the plaza. Oh, that mailbox, huh? The one that we can pet or kick. All right, let's equip our half-light gloves. Very good. And then, I think we're ready, huh? Yeah. Good. Let's head on out. There we are. Great. We could also check in with Joyce while we're over here. I think that might be a good idea because she's right over there. Let's see. Let's pop this open. Put our bag there. Good. Let's see. Yeah, she's right over here. Oh, whoops. We have to go around by Lillian first. That's fine. We'll do a quick save just in case. Okay, now remember, we're going to not tell Joyce what the fuck we know, right? We're just going to try to extricate her information.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
Oh, she pats her wet raincoat. Holy shit. This is the game actually has dialogue that reacts to the current weather? Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. She looks at the ripples on the water's surface. Shivers, easy success. All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden board she's standing on the water around you. I could use a coat like that. The rain is freezing. Will she give me one? Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. The company makes them for offshore platform personnel, very sturdy. She gives the material another pat. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout. Ah, task complete, the jam mystery, 70 XP. Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you learned? What have you discovered? Wait, where exactly are these eyes located? It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume what you discovered there is an operation. Empathy, medium success. She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. Authority, easy success. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours. Let the lieutenant handle it. Why not? If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand. Of course, detectives, she says, her tone more cautious suddenly. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. Cool, so we didn't tell her shit, did we? Okay. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands. Half-light, easy success. The word bloodbath sounds cold in her mouth. The taste of iron and strawberries. What was that about a bloodbath? I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and strike, but I need your testimony. That's enough for now. What was that about a bloodbath? Yes, I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Revachol West. Really? Since you're sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario. Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and strike, but I need your testimony. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me, in the moment they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. The Hanged Man, Lely. A momentary lapse of faith? Huh. So he was here on behalf of the strike, right? Interesting. What did they want her to do that they wanted security detail for her? What the fuck? Was she going to, like, kill Clausia? Is she the one who was sent here for Clausia? Maybe? I don't know. Alright, a momentary lapse of faith? They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer. Every worker. A member of the board. She nods. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Do you need a security detail? Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering. Who are they, exactly? Krenel and Ironyi's military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment. So, what happened? The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman. While he was drunk and separated from his unit, this allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. And that's Lely, the Colonel. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. What then? Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone else there. The remaining 2 Krenel contractors carry out their orders. For now. For now? It's a smokescreen. In secret. They are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow. What is the nature of this so-called investigation? Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants. Oh shit, the Hardy Boys, who didn't even do it, right? They took the heat. It was Clausia. Well, it was Ruby, we think. It was either Clausia or Ruby who... Or maybe both of them working together in tandem, right? We think it was Ruby who pulled the trigger right now on Lely, right? Okay. But nonetheless, they're not here because of that. They were here originally. This is the reason why they were here originally, which was to decide to violently put down the Union strike, right? They were fucking Pinkertons. That's what they were. Krenel are fucking Pinkertons. Alright, continue. Half-Light, easy success. It'll be all of them. The decision is already made. You've made a mess here. I have to say, this is not Disco. Maybe the investigations can team up, share resources and intelligence. Boy, oh boy, is that not good. You've made a mess here. It was the Union who strung him from that tree. A wave crashes against the side of her boat. My hope is you can provide a single concrete suspect before Krenel indiscriminately picks theirs. Simply put, she leans against the wooden planks. If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This, in turn, will force the Union to respond. Oh, fuck. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Alright. Continue. Authority, easy success. But fuck! Alright, hang on, let's read this. They would have to project strength and power. Right, because they're a fucking private military contractor. But this is so fucked if our wild theory turns out to be true. Because in which case, like, if it turns out to be true, our wild-ass, like, paranormal theory about where the bullet came from out of the pail, from out of that 2mm hole, if that's true, then Ruby is completely innocent, and we can't pin it on her because that would be so fucked, right? Ruby would be entirely innocent. She'd had nothing to do with it. It was just a pure happenstance, but it doesn't matter to them because they want fucking blood. Even if it's not out of revenge, it's to, like Authority here is saying, to project strength and power. Otherwise, no one else is going to buy their services again. They're going to look like weaklings before Wild Pines and other, like, major corporations that are interested in hiring. Huh. And of course, there may also be passion involved, right? They may have actually loved Lely or whatever. Whew, man. Interesting. Does this all... Would they have stake in the idea of doing it themselves? Here's a theory. Would the PMC have any motive for killing one of their own people and pinning the murder on someone in Revachol, someone tied to the Union? Right? Could they have wanted to... They hate... What if it's the opposite of love? They hate Lely, think he's a risk to their PMC, want to pin the murder on him, 2 birds, 1 stone, get him out of your group, no longer a risk to the stability of your group, and then someone wants war with the Union to take out the Union entirely, right? Holy shit, and then you hire the RCM, you make sure that the RCM is on the scene, everything is documented, that way the RCM can verify, if it ever gets taken to, like, a court or something, that Wild Pines is completely innocent in it. Holy shit, that's one hell of a fucking motive, though, isn't it? That Wild Pines may want to pin the entire thing. But it depends. We would need to find these other 2 contractors to even understand if maybe they fucking hated him, right? I mean, that said, he does seem miserable, right? Lely seemed fucking miserable. He seemed like a terrible, horrific person, right? That's fascinating. But that said, also, it makes me think that Claudia is totally innocent in this. But that said, on the flip side, maybe it's for the best that we got her out of the picture? I don't know. Like, maybe it's better for her safety in this case? I'm not fucking sure. But I think... I don't know. We're going on a lot, right? This is yet another far-fetched theory, just like our bullet came out of a 2mm hole in the pail, right? Which is not quite possible, as far as we know. We need a little bit more information about that. Because the hole is 2mm, but the bullet used was a 9mm caliber, right? Huh. So it's more plausible right now that they're framing the Union for this in order to get legality on their side for them to go to war. Right? They don't give a shit if they have to go to war, right? They want that. Wild Pines would want to wipe out the Union, right? Is that the correct read on this? It really depends, though. We need more fucking information. It could go a lot of different ways. That's just the wildest fucking theory I can think of. That's the wildest, sexiest theory, right? I want to buy into sensationalist ideals right now. Continue. The debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1. Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? She leans back. It's not pretty. These men work in tandem, using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons. Even yours, most Union workers, don't have guns at all. She is silent for a moment, then concludes. As I said, a bloodbath. Half-light, medium success. Maybe a good bloodletting is just what Martinez needs. Shivers, medium success. Houses drenched in red, blood gushing down Rue Saint Cispar. The whole place mopped with a giant red rag. Fresh bullet holes for all the old buildings. Shudder. See, Kim, this is that great bloodletting I've been telling you about. Wash it, nice and clean. I can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing? I think the confrontation is inevitable. I do think the confrontation is inevitable, but we may be able to push it back so we don't have to deal with it right now, right? And make it more evitable? Make it more avoidable by pushing it, right? If somehow some other party comes in and wipes out Wild Pines, because the problem is, I don't know. The problem is that Wild Pines wants the Union out of this. They want more control over this shit. Huh. Let's shudder first. Maybe we'll get more shit. It will not be a pretty sight. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing? Many bleak scenarios have already come true. She looks at you, eyes damp from the wind. Lieutenant W. Friter Dubois. Ooh. Task complete. Joyce's info on the lynching. 30 XP, level up. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single, concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. What can you tell me about Krenel? Oh shit, we get a lot of info here. What can you tell me about Krenel? Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. Inland Empire, medium success. Down a deep, black well. They boast a long list of clients. St. Baptiste, Welchman Lawrence, Eendracht. A warning sign, however, the operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries, guarding facilities, escort missions, and such. Meaning, they're used to operating in war zones. Yes, all good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yisut, and the Semines Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Okay. Anything else you got on them? Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources, she thinks. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though, she thinks. Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM? And the ICP, ma'am? In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I would be dealing with a group like Krenel. Could you contact the company? Tell them to call off? It's so wild that she withheld this fucking information for our stupid drug investigation, right? This seems so fucking bad. Like, honestly, looking back, what a shitty thing to do to withhold this important shit. Holy fuck. Could you contact the company, tell them to call off? To call them off? I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. Right. You said the deceased assaulted a woman? This is stuff that we know of, right? However, it turned out to be a lot more involved and not quite what she probably believes, right? Okay, you said the deceased assaulted a woman? Or he didn't. She tilts her head. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. Who did the passing on, then? What did these teenagers sit by the canal say? Who did the passing on? The remaining contractors, their tribunal. It's what they believe. What did these teenagers by the canal say? That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez. Right, but we know the truth of it now. This does not come as news to us, but still. He exchanges a glance to you. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know? Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. I know the woman you're talking about. We have it under control. Don't mention it. And who was this woman? Yeah, let's not let her in. I don't want to let her know more than we can help, right? I agree with the lieutenant. We should keep as much of this hidden as possible from her. And who was this woman? That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe. This colonel, the one who was hanged, do you know him? If you mean did I see him alive, yes, but I did not know him. Empathy, medium success. You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice, but she had sympathy for this man. You liked him. Liked is a bit strong. She tosses her head. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills. His name was Lally. His service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name, only one of them did. A bad sign, if there ever was one. Tell me about the others first. One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname, if you will. The other, a woman. Phyllis de Paul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. De Paul is a radio operator. The lieutenant cuts in. What would you say was his eye color? The deceased's. She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head. I can't remember. There's a pang of regret to her voice. That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age? He was 40, or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions. 5 XP. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. And Clausia also mentioned it, I believe. He says to you, then turns back to Joyce. What else? Nationality? Accent? He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Orangese or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent, all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. She nods. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. Pain threshold, medium success. Must be hard to force your face to move in a new fashion. If you continue like this, you'll have an aneurysm. Then you'll have to, too. Where are the remaining 2 mercs now? They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. She raises a cautionary finger. For one, they're likely armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes, ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting. Authority, easy success. Vigilantes? You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol. Half-light, medium success. You should show those meatheads exactly how savage you really are. Vigilantes? The RCM gets its authority from the Coalition. Where does theirs come from? We still need to know where they are. We'll confront them directly. Okay, we'll steer clear for the moment. Vigilantes? Where does their authority come from? Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down. We still need to know where they are. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved. Logic, medium 10. Where are these mercenaries? Oh, fuck. High, 83%. Sent by the Pines. +1 scab leader built like brick. +2 didn't pass background check. No way! Do we think the scab leader is one of them? No. Really? Huh. Where are these mercenaries? Success. Double sixes, baby. Logic, medium success. 1 is obviously the scab leader. At the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans? He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. Oh shit. Vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers. Holy shit. Huh. So the scab leader is the gunner. And the other one keeping tabs on me from the vantage point is the radio operator, right? Building south of the roundabout. What building would that fucking be? I don't know, one we maybe don't have access to? Can I bring up my map here? Let's see, where's the roundabout at? It is right here. So it would be these buildings, right? And we don't have access to them. And they would have a great line of sight on the lorries and all of that, and on their compatriot. Fuck. God, this is getting so fucking good. Well, what am I saying? This has always been so fucking good. If anything, that's one of the most amazing things about this fucking game, is that throughout all of it, it's like, it's a fucking page turner. I don't know about you, but I'm so excited to find out what the fuck's gonna happen next. Even with, like, relatively low stakes shit. Right? Like, the whole time, even when it's something low stakes, it's so fucking interesting. And it does such a great way of, like, slowly upping the stakes, despite the fact that, like, I can travel around and, like, learn all sorts of shit just all over town, right? Holy shit, like, it's done so fucking well. It's like a miracle. Like, like, I don't know how, like, if they ever decide to make another game in this vein, I don't know if can they strike lightning twice? I don't fucking know. It's so fucking wild to me. Alright. One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the scab leader. One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout. I had another question for you. Yeah, the scab leader. 5 XP. That may be so. She is poised and unperturbed. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest. For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gates is a powder keg. Does this not bother you? Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant, but my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were interviewing on behalf of the Union? Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace. One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout. Yeah, I love that this is her shit, right? I love that he puts it out into fucking words, right? Very, very true to her character. Very true to her, like, ultra-liberal ideology, right? And even her self-loathing, right? Like, she probably hates that she said that, right? She probably hates herself for it. Alright. One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout. 5 XP. That would afford a good vantage point, she says. In any case, it's practically inaccessible. Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece? Heavens no, I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave on the ship's wheel. At the ship's wheel. She nods toward the sloop's cabin. I had another question for you. I hope I can answer it better. How much time do we have? Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience. They don't report their progress to you? Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. There's a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay. So it is out of passion. They did care for this Lely person. Maybe they, like, fought in, what wars, some of the wars or whatever that Clausia brought up that Lely, like, told them about? Alright, continue. Inland Empire, medium success. 5 days, not more, maybe sooner. Oh shit. Since when? Uh-oh. Since when? Since the beginning, or from here on? Okay, continue. It's a matter of days, not weeks. That's enough for now. I'm sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there's anything else I can help you with, please ask. Now, can you tell me about these tattoos? Show her the photo. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before. She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand. For about half a minute, in silence. Perception sight challenging success. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman. It was taken with a trigot not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs. Stay quiet, observe the woman's expression. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. Empathy, medium success. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely. What do you think? Sorry. She breaks her concentration. If I were trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points, the stars, I was trying to see. She points to one on the photo paper. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Like stars in the sky? Say nothing. Let's say this, like stars in the sky? Are they bullets? Bullet holes. Oh, like stars in the sky, 5 XP? Close, she nods. Port cities. This is an Oranjese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the DeLorean century, over 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to travel their... to map their travels. What is the use of this map? What travels did the dead man make? Who could tell me more? That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help. What is the use of this map? The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by the silver cord, they would call it. Inland Empire, medium success. Where is he now? This one is going nowhere but the morgue. I've spoken to him. For now, the soul is fastened inside his corpse. This one has flown quite far by now. Nowhere. There is no soul. Let's go with this. I've spoken to him. For now, the soul is fastened inside his corpse. She remains unfazed. That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse. What travels did the dead man make? Quite a few. Vredefort, the Iranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. She points to it on the photo. He started somewhere near here, I think. What next? Then he made his way to Prato Grande, through what I think must be the Stadskanal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Prato, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean. From the first the Seminese Islands, then this. She points to his heart. What is that? Revachol. Ooh. She says, those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. Wasn't there some sort of, saying or idiom, turn of phrase that we heard about Revachol being the heart or whatever? Or am I, tripping balls? I might be tripping balls. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of the Insulind, at the dawn of the Interisolary Age. You said you can't read it. Task complete. The victim's tattoos. 30 XP. I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. Esprit de corps, medium success. Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Tolmayo Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk, rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol, case, vacation, injured. Into Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there's a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history. That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways. Just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos. Who could tell me more? His platoon members, the other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them this picture. This man was their friend and comrade. Empathy, medium success. It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial. Physical instrument, medium success. Challenge accepted. I say we do it. I need the information. Mark it down. Ask Mercs about tattoos. You're right, not a good idea. Fuck it, I need the information. Let's see what happens. Can we find them? Oh yeah, the scab leader, of course. Yeah, I'm dumb. It's the other person, the radio operator, that we can't find. Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you. We will be careful, ma'am. That's all for the tattoos. Thanks for your help. She hands you back the photo. Is there anything else I can help you with? No, that's it. That's all for now. My God! It seems like every time we have a big talk with Joyce, we get revealed to some information that is completely mind-blowing about the state of the game world. Right? Holy shit. Krenel? This shit, the fucking scab leader? Good God. Yeah. Holy shit. If anything, I can't believe I didn't even bring it up. Remember not too long ago, we brought up, like, yeah, there's characters who are like side characters that seem mostly insignificant at the time being. The scab leader is like the biggest fucking example of all of that, right? We even brought up how weird he seems, but nothing else seemed to have come of it. That should have been like the biggest fucking example so far, right? I can't think of a bigger example of a character that is introduced, and even the game explicitly states there's something weird and off about them, but so far nothing came of it, right? Holy shit, it was right under my nose the whole time. Good lord. For all my weird, wild-ass theories, the most important thing was just right there the whole time, huh? Alright. Still very satisfying in and of itself, right? Very, very detective story-esque, huh? Alright. Well, one of the worrying things, though, is that she said 5 days. Does that mean from the beginning of our investigation, it's day 5 right now? Is something going to happen very shortly? Or, could it be 5 days from now on day 10, right? It doesn't feel like we have 10 days worth of anything, but that could also mean, I wonder, like on a meta level, is there only potentially 10 days worth of content in the game? Maybe? If you go like down certain routes and like extend everything as far as possible, intentionally trying to do that, you could only get up to 10 days? I have no idea. Alright. Nonetheless, when next we come back, who should we check in with? I want to say Titus, right? God, I can't believe it. We started out with this being like abrased by our encounter with Titus and the Hardy Boys, and now it feels like we're almost racing against the clock to like have them not get fucking gunned down or some shit, right? Jesus. Incredible, honestly. All right. Until next time, please take care of each other.